And I'm live. That is pretty cool. Today is 12th of March 2026, Thursday. And before beginning, a quote from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Okay, let's say this one. This is love that only which happens to thee and is spun with the thread of thy destiny for what is more suitable. Yep. Love that only which happens to thee and is spun with the thread of thy destiny for what is more suitable. So, love, what happens to you? What else are you going to love? Not that, what happens to you? Okay, I don't know. Are you able to see the screen? Okay, you are able to see the screen. Okay, I get why you see the Berserk logo. Cool, cool. Now I'm using aerospace, which is pretty cool. Look at this. I can very quickly switch between stuff and not just this. Like when more people come, I will show more things. Like more by more, I mean when at least someone comes. And before that, let's start working on the website. Run back, cool. Source, frontend, run white, cool. And let's fix the problem. And also, the cool thing is I can have this place where, yep, and go to shit. Uh, yes, shit, I messed up. This is empty. This has this. 4 is empty. Makes sense. That is fine. Why is 2 empty and why is this thing here? Move this to workspace 2. Workspace 2 has this. Right, workspace 5 somehow has this. It should go to 4. Cool. And yeah, I'll create another one. Localhost. And this other one should be anonymous. Localhost 5173. Cool. First of all, we will have to log in this one. And shit. Keep going. Yep, I will keep going. And shit, I messed up a little bit. I'm still learning this. This is called aerospace. This is for like, tiling window manager and workspaces. Okay. Shit, how can I mess this up? Okay, cool. I can switch between these two, which is very cool. Closed start here on the one and the left. I am already logged in. This is pretty cool. And on this one, I have to log in. Let's say Thorfinn00, password is @3. Cool. We are logged in from both the sides. Let's make this one also this. Start game as a random player. Start game. Cool. So this thing is pretty cool. The switching part is, yep, the switching part is pretty cool. It works. This person is white, so let's make them white and make a move. It does not work. Move does not work. Mine control up down, control up down arrow to navigate in same work. Yes, like, but for if you're using arrows, then you have to move your hand to the arrows. What I have is Windows or like the meta key, Shift JKL, the Vim controls. So that is pretty cool. Look at this. It's pretty cool. I do not have to move my hand on the like arrow keys. Like I really like this. This is very cool. I can just switch between stuff. Okay, 5 is empty and this is cool. Okay, we are not able to see move. Why is that? Okay, we did see the move here on the back end. Okay, so there is some problem on the front end. Pages start while we are playing the game. On, yep, the thing happens on the board. On mouse up. When you put the mouse up, okay, this thing was true, is valid move. We did call this function. So problem came after this function because the move is there visible on the back end. So yep, make move. Okay, make move is defined here, and it is not like given to the board by the page. Okay, make move is given to the board by the page, which is cool. Okay, what does make move? Does make move res move socket? Okay, yes, move request and sends the move, and its message is something that is false. And now if socket then sends the move, set in move. Yes, set that we are in move equal to true. Okay, which is cool. Set in move equal to true. Then we would get a message on our socket, right? And our socket comes from use gear. Yo, hello. Kakashi, did you see this? Look at this. Look at this. Tiling window manager. Look at this. And I can create more here. Look at this. I can switch. Shit, I can make things like this. I can switch between these. This is very cool. This is like actually very cool. Like shit, this is just very cool. Nice. Yep, it is very cool. Here custom hooks. Yep, inside custom hooks, of course. Okay, in here on message data, yep, start of the game, nope. Then else in move, we should be printing here console.log, not start of game, console.log shade in okay, and what do we see? We have to reload. Start start okay, this is the white player, and okay, I did make the move. What do we see in the console? Updated, dated. Okay, yes, updated makes sense. Random. Why are we printing random? Starting game. Okay, move didn't went to the back end, which is cool, which is somehow okay. And this move did go to the back end, but we are not seeing it here on the front end. Okay, which does not make sense. Okay, why are we not seeing this? This on message handler is not working. Console.log on message handler working, and console from connect. Yep, console error is starting game. That is fine. On message handler working. Let's see now what happens. Start the game. Okay, random. This person is white, this person is black. White player plays this move. On message handler working. So we did go into some condition, but we do not know which condition we went into. Okay, this function did ran right. If in move is a boolean value. Cool. If game is share, I think game state is equal to waiting. Still, shit, that might be problematic. So log waiting for the start of the game, right? Start, right? And when we make a move, waiting for the start of the game. Okay, so which means our game state is not changing, which means that this is not how we call these handler functions. Set game state and give it game state dot running and set color. We have to import. We have to subscribe to set color. Wait, on open on this is fine, this is fine. Set color, we have to subscribe to set color. Okay, shit, set color is not a thing. Why is set color not a thing? Color is here, set color is a thing in the interface. Set color is a thing here also in use game. So there is on message. First of all, this indentation is kind of bad. Let's start on open. Yeah, all of this is inside this connect function. Okay, this indentation is very bad. This indentation, like automatic indentation, is very bad. All this is inside this function. Cool. Okay, and a better way to get these things would be board. Wait, no, this is inside. Yep. So not like this. Cool. That is fine. Set. Yes, set like this is cool. Use message handler. Okay, const set color equals get dot set color. Get the setter for color, and here call with data dot color. Now this might actually work. Start new mk. But okay, and shit. Okay, waiting for start of game. It was originally waiting for start of game, and it is still waiting for start of game, which means if data dot start console dot log game starting, shit, I think, shit, I think the problem is again because of closures. Shit, maybe when we are checking game state here, this game state does not update like this. Yes, I think this does not update. This does not give us the latest value of game state, and we are always going inside this shit. And if that is correct, that would mean when the connection establishes, we will see this game is starting being printed. But on the second time, when we see by error due to some reason, when we again see waiting for a start of game, when the game has already started, we will not see this because there is no data dot start in the response that comes from the server. But game state is still this. Start, start, okay. Yep, on message handler, waiting for game start. Game started, game starting, we saw it before, but now we are not seeing it before because the server is not telling that the game has started because the game has already started. Okay, and we also see that we see waiting here, which is the value of game state, which is not updating here. But we do know that game state has updated because we are seeing the board. We will not see the board if the game state had not updated, because on the page, play page here, before rendering anything, we check if the game state is waiting currently, then render this loading thing. Otherwise, if the game state is running, only then render the board. Only then render the board like this. So we know that the game state has updated, but we are not seeing its latest value, which means this is just a problem we got to fix. Closure problem. Using this, and I am defining a glue. The connect function. Using the stand, I am defining a function called connect, a function which establishes a web socket connection with the back end and also adds on message handler and other stuff when the connection is made. But the on shit, I think the on message handler can internally subscribe. Yes, I think okay, cool. This is the on message handler. This, I think we can think of this function as, okay, yes, cool. Const, we will have all of these things. We are using set color, set game, set board, res game state and board. If we remove these, wait, should we remove res, which is kind of sad. Okay. If if we remove these, and inside this on message handler, you have to subscribe internally to this stand element itself equals use game. Okay, yes, shit. I guess this is how we do it. Set game, game state, set game state, board, board, set color and color, and color C. Color C does not exist. Color C exists like right here. Okay, it could be null, is what you are saying. So color C, if color, then color rise white. There is a more error. It's get. We are not using it. I think we should be fixed. Start. Okay. Okay. Invalid hook. Hooks can only be called inside the body of a function. Inside the body of this could happen for one of the following. Okay. Now we are calling the hook every time inside on message handler. Is it bad? We could, where else could we call that hook? Right now we are calling, where is it? Custom hooks, yep. Right now we are calling this use game hook inside here, which should not be a problem. Get state. Wait, we are also calling get state function on this one. So what is this get state thing? What is this get state thing? There is nothing here called get state. Game dot get. Shit, okay. Now we are okay. I think we should be okay now. Start. Okay, if we click on this, we should see this, the one on the right as white and the other as black, and we do see them. The pieces should move, and they do move. Okay, cool. Okay, there is a problem. Okay, there is a bug. Yep, there is a bug. We are able to play moves, but they disappear when the board updates. And sometimes they don't disappear when the board updates. And this happens when we pick up. So when we are picking up the piece, something is wrong then. Git add and git commit m fix. The fix is on message handler was getting closure state, like previous closure state, was getting value of on message handler was closer. Yes, that is something cool. Okay, now we have to fix the pickup move, which is this one. When we pick the piece. When we pick a piece, we are clicking our mouse button down, like left click down. So this is the handler which does everything. Then this thing gets the rows and columns, which is cool. And then it checks if the row, if the click is inside the board. This is what this if is checking. If the click is inside the board, then rows and columns would have values 0 to 7. But if the click is outside the board, then rows and columns would be -1. Both of them would be -1. Then this thing gets the piece of the board. I think board is old. And the new board is a copy of the original board. And the original board is this board. Okay, which should give us the current state of this board, but we are not getting the current state of this board, which means we are not updating the board at the right place. Which means we are not updating the board, but we should be getting the right thing. We are updating the board because we are seeing the board here, like this thing. Even though this is not showing everything, all the pieces that have moved, this is still showing us this piece and this piece. They are not in their original place, so something has moved, something is updating. So why are we getting we can check which board we are getting here by just printing the board. Log board, the best type of debugging, log debugging. And remove all of that. Cool. And now we can start our game. And what do we expect to see? We expect mouse board. Yeah, we want to see what is the board that we are getting. We should be getting the current board and not the original board. That is what we want to see. Start a game here, and here click on start game. Okay, right now, like, yes, this is the board that we have here. And cool, we see the move. And on this side, okay, it went away. The board went away. And when I click on some piece here, okay, what is the board that we got here? We got we are seeing the white pieces at the top because there is a difference between the board which is keeping track of the pieces and the board that we are seeing, because the board that we are seeing should be able to change like this whenever we switch colors. So there is a the board that we are seeing is different from the board that there is, but the disconnect seems to be bigger now. Okay, we saw this. Yep, and this is the original board, the board that we get when a game starts, because all the pawns are here, all the pieces are at their original places. So this board is wrong. This board is wrong. And when we do mouse up, this make move function is doing the work properly. Yep. Board shown. Structure clone of the current value of the board. Yes, and also print board side whenever board side changes. boot side dot color white, then yep, change, yes, change the zone board, get square being clicked is something else. Okay, we are getting an older board. We should not be getting an older board. Wait, should this function internally subscribe to the board element? That, yes, that might be it. That might be it. I think. What? Pieces reset back to original state. Yes, pieces reset back to original state. Yes, pieces reset back to original state. And who is resetting the pieces? I think these handler, okay, look at this. These handler functions are using this board element, and this board element is defined outside of them. And I guess when we are defining this handler function, whatever the value of the board is at the time of definition is the value of the board that we are getting every time. So I think we have to use a hook inside this function so that every time that this function runs, we are getting the latest value of the board. I think that might be it. Let's like ask ChatGPT. I have this is stand state which I am subscribing to at the component level, and then inside a use effect I am defining event handler, and I think that the event handler is using closure and getting the value of the state when the handler was defined, and not getting the latest value. And if this is the case, we will have to make a change in all the handlers. It's a classic closure problem in React. Okay. Okay. Which means shit, we are defining these. Okay, this should not be a problem here. This should not be a problem here because we are getting this board on the component level. Here the component starts, and the first thing we are doing is we are getting the board. Wait, get state shade. Don't say that I was stupid. Dot get state was the thing that we had to use. Shade. This might actually be it. And look at this. This person was white. This person on the right was white, and since this person closed their connection, WebSocket connection first, this person got a message that the black user is the winner. Why? Because white user closed their connection, so black is the winner. Start a game, and I guess now we are okay. Okay, shit, we are not okay. We are not okay, shit. Okay. Okay, the closure should not be a problem because every time that we are getting the latest state, we are defining the function, the event hand. Shit. Even though we are defining the event handler with the latest state, we are mounting. Shit. Okay. Even though event handler also is getting the latest state, we are mounting the event handler on only once when the component originally mounted. So what we have to do here is we have to also give here the event handlers. I think handle mouse down, handle mouse up, so that on every re-render of this component the event handlers get updated and they get the latest value. And I do not we do not we do know from yesterday that defining a new function in JavaScript is very cheap. So in defining these event handlers on every re-render is not a big cost. And I think, maybe, I don't know, that demounting and remounting like, yes, demounting and remounting these elements every time that event handler is clicked, that every time that the component that the component re-renders, I think that also is not a big cost. Okay, so here on the dependency array of this use effect, whenever boot side changes, why would we like to run this thing whenever board side changes? We would not like to run this use effect because this does not do anything with board side. Or does it? It does, because these event handlers internally are using board side. Okay, so board side is also a dependency. Which I did wrote here right here yesterday. Event handler function has to be removed and added every time that board side changes, because the get square being clicked function is dependent on board side, which affects the event handler functions. Okay. Yep. But we can remove it here because the event handlers are getting redefined on every retender. Okay, this should be cool. This should be cool. Probably should be cool. Everything is classic for ChatGPT. Yep, everything is classic. Again, we saw that black person won the game. Start key. Shit. And just aside, this thing you are seeing this space in the middle. This can also change. And there is .config aerospace.toml, and here gaps. This can change to, let's say, 0. And to reload this config shit, okay, you cannot see the doc at the top, but okay, aerospace also has modes like Vim has. And if I press command shift semicolon, I am inside edit mode, and if I exit edit mode, the config gets reloaded and the space must be gone, and it is gone. Look at this, the space is gone, but a little bit of space is okay. How is this? We can see the space in real time. We are in edit mode. Cool. 5 is fine. 5 looks okay. Okay, start the game. Cool. Make move. Okay, this move is not possible somehow. This move is not possible. Like one battle after another. This move is now not possible. Mouse handler up. If square ref not current is not equal to null, console.log, and we were also printing the board, which we should not. Mouse up. Okay. Piece picked up. This thing is checking if like a piece was picked up or not. Target console.log valid move made. Okay, and do we see something? Piece picked up and valid move was not made. Somehow the move is not valid. The move is not valid, and my supposition is that these two things, this and this, these two are not, these two things are not state variables. So we should put a state variable inside this whenever board changes, because these are the things. Yep, this the function is using get square being clicked, which changes with board side change, and also using the board at some point up here to clone the board. And now hopefully this is okay. Okay, cool. Piece was picked up, but the move is not valid. Why is the move not valid? Console.log, console.log. Let's see. From where do we pick up move string? Yes. What is the move that we are making? Let's see. The move we made is d2 to d4. d2 to d4. d2 to d4, which is completely a valid move. Why is it invalid? d2 to d4. Why is this move invalid? Is move valid? Is move okay? Shade is color not defined. Shit, that might actually be it. Console.log. Color, what is the... Okay, color is also white. Okay, color is also correct. So why is move okay not working now? Which is crazy. Is move okay is not working now. Piece picked up. Okay. Board side. Piece picked up. Okay. The two consoles that we have here. Okay. Somehow I don't know why the tree sitter is not working. Tree sitter does not work. Just guessing, but maybe it is checking as soon as we pick up, so it matches its original, which is invalid. No, this there are two event handlers. One is this one. When we click our mouse down, the square that the mouse is at, when we click our mouse down, is the source square, is treated as the source square. And when we like pick up the mouse, do not click it any longer, when we like let go of the click, then the place that we are at that point is being treated as the target row and target column. Here, get a square being clicked, and the move is also okay. Here, d2 to d4, so there is no problem with the move, but the invalid function target row is not. Yes, here console.log move is string. Move string is okay. Console.log is valid move. This is returning false somehow. Okay, this move is okay, but this is returning false. Why is d1 d2 to d4 a false move? This is messed up, and the colors are horrible because the tree sitter is not working. And one more problem could be shit, the color. console.log color spot rand. What is the color that we are getting and that we are giving to this function? We are giving it white color. So a white person is trying to make d2 to d4 move. Okay. Okay, shade. There might be some internal things that this function is using. Okay, check whether the move makes sense on its own or not. Okay, which means here get the details about the moves. Is source square empty, right color for color. Yes, get target square color. Yes, source and target squares must be of different color, must be different. Yes, make sure that the piece can move like that. Okay, console.log makes sense on its own. And then, yeah, let's just see if it makes sense, if the move makes sense on its own. We do not see this. So move does not make sense on its own. Move is not making sense on its own. Okay, console.log checking move. We are checking move. Okay, but the move does not make sense on its own. Okay, why does the move? We are returning because of this function. Special flags and everything is going here. Okay, shit. We are like actually debugging the backend now somehow. Maybe we are debugging the backend somehow. Shit. Thought that backend was done and complete. There's probably some wrong data problem. Let's see if we are able to pass all of these at least. Start, run, okay. Already started, cool. And the highest checking move. Okay, after checking move, we do not see any number, which is absolutely crazy, which means source square is empty, which is messed up. Source square is empty. Console.log source square and console.log the board also. Shit. And also the location. Source row and source column. Start, cool. Start. What do we see? We see an n. Source square is nn. We are trying to go to 1 4, which means in row 1, yes, row 1 column 4, which is 1 2 3 4, this one, e. Yes, e2 to e4 is the move that we tried to make, but okay. Makes so much sense. Okay. So what happens is when we pick up a piece like this, when I pick up a piece, the reason that we do not see the piece at its original position is because I am updating the board. The board is updated. That like on the board level itself, there is no piece there. And when we check, is this move possible? We are calling the isValid function with with this updated board which has empty square at the source place. So obviously in that case the move is a mistake. Move should not be possible. So that is a bit this shit. How backend broke. Making changes in front end. Yes, making changes in front end somehow broke the back end, which is funny. And look at this, I can like make this thing go on the left or on the right very quickly. Cool, very cool. Cool. Hmm. Shit, this is actually funny. Uh, Updating the front end broke the back end somehow. Okay. Is move okay without context and everything. Okay. Here, when we pick up the mouse, we are updating the board. Set board. So either we do not update the board or we fix the board first and then we validate the move and stuff. Clean up board, which makes sense. Yes, we will clean up the board and clean up, which means put the piece back and put the piece back and put the piece back. Okay, yes, shit, yes, we will just first of all we will put the piece back if nothing else. Shit, source row and the other thing does not exist because they are inside if. So put the piece back comes here. Get the source row and square and put the piece back and then reset the state. Yes, reset the state. And you might ask, why are we resetting the state later on while we are putting back the piece before resetting the states? Because when we do know that this move is a valid move, we need to know what was the square, what was the piece which was picked up before, because we are updating the actual board. So when we are making the move, the source square is empty because we are updating the board. So we have to keep track of the piece that we moved like this. Cool. Okay. Start. Okay, now we should see a move. We do not see a move. Shit, this is still false, which is messed up, which is actually messed up. We should not update the board until we drop the piece down. Until we drop, we are updating the board because when I click on a piece, I want to remove the piece from the board. Yep, when I click on a piece, I want to remove the piece from the board, which I could, since there are two boards, there are like already there are two boards. One board is the actual board, and the other one is the board that we are seeing. And why is there a distinction? Because of like, because we want this thing to happen, that is why there is a like, yeah, a distinction in the boards. One flips and the other one does not. So I think instead of changing the underlying board when we pick up the piece, we could just update the board. Okay, if we let go outside the board, then it is messed up. Piece picked up and then cannot read properties of undefined, reading null. Okay, I guess we are not checking, doing a null check here on mouse up. After getting these things, yes, we are just like straight in. We are legit straight in. So this should happen later on. No, shit, this should happen right here. -1, why would we be going to -1? Shit. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Only do this if if row is not equal to -1, that is we are inside the board, only then do this, otherwise do not do this. Cool. I think now if I, okay, I should like, shit, let go of the piece at least. Shit. Shit, I should let go of the piece. I have not let it go of the piece. Should be equal to null, and when this is equal to null, mouse piece dragged piece, shit, do not give it the current value, the type of this shade. Okay, that makes sense, that makes sense. Mm. Piece is of type react ref object, which either has this or null, and this should not be there. And then another null, because this could be null, we just don't know. Or this is not null. Piece cannot be a JSX component, because here we do have to do what correct now, because this could be a null or not null. Okay, cool. And shit, when we are outside the board, thing does not go away. This thing does not go away. if piece dot current is not equal to null, only then return this. Otherwise, do not return anything. You don't even have to check because it is not equal to null. Let's start the game again. A click. Shit. Wait. Just make it hidden and make a duplicate piece, uh, which the user picks. Make a duplicate piece which the user picks. Yes, the piece which the user picks is duplicate. Hidden. Hidden. Okay, for making the piece hidden, there are two things. One is then teleport the piece to the place where the where user dropped it. Yep, we're saying a random. I don't know if it is right. Let's see if it is right. Just a random thought. Can we pick a piece from right board and put it? Maybe that will be like bit too advanced. Okay, to make a piece hidden, since this is a grid of spans, I we have to get a reference to the element and change its CSS, for which either we have 64 references, because there are 64 cells to each cell. Either we define a reference, and then when we know that this piece is being picked up, we go to that element and make its state to hidden, change its state hidden. Or either we do that, or we manually get the square by using get element by id, document dot get element by id. Yes, which is also one thing we could do, and I did consider doing this, but then I chose to update the board itself because React is declarative. I do not have to tell React how to do things. That React will figure out on its own. I just update the state and React figures out how to do it. So I just update the board and React figures out. I guess that makes some sense. I don't know. Look at this. Ah, shit. Shouldn't even be a problem. Mouse up. When mouse is up, square. Okay, shit. Ref current, which means if we are currently dragging a piece. Piece picked up. Mouse up. No, piece. Putting down. Putting down. On. Target row and target column. Let's see. Start piece putting down on 3 5, and when I let go of the piece inside the board, everything is okay. Everything is okay. Like we are not able to make the move, but the part where like the piece has to go away, that is okay. There is no problem with that. The problem. Shit, what is this? Okay, look at this. Initially the piece is there, at the top left. When I click on this, the piece is there, not on the mouse, and that is happening because we are conditionally rendering this. We should not be conditionally rendering this. If piece.current equals null, okay, yes, if this thing is false, then wait, what? If this thing is true, then go to this. No, shit. If this thing is false, then go to this. Yes, cool. Now we are, yes, now we are getting the piece properly. Okay, and when we let go of the piece outside, then error. Putting piece down on -1 because we are outside the board. Putting piece down on -1. Mouse up handler, putting piece down on -1. Put the piece back. This logic is not working. If set piece moved, okay, which means, wait, shit, set, why would set piece moved be equal to anything? If piece moved equal to something, okay, that was stupid, that was stupid. If piece moved equal to something, then put the piece back. Cool. Shit, I think all of our worries are gone now. Shit, no, they persist. Log, putting back. Start, start. Putting back, and putting back. So we should be seeing the piece back, but it is not back. Like how the piece is picked, that exact piece should be getting hidden as soon as we left click. Yes, it is getting hidden, but okay, either you could change the CSS property of that element and make it hidden, or you could change the board. And changing the CSS property is more labor intensive and does not feel good, and changing the board seems better. That is why I'm changing the board, because when changing the CSS property directly, it seems like I'm doing the thing that React should be doing. Because yes, it is React who has to figure out how to change the DOM according to what happens to the state. That is React's thing. Okay, in this case, I guess piece moved is not the right thing. If not empty and this, yes. Piece, get the piece. Okay, we are set piece moved. Okay, set piece moved. Set piece moved and piece moved. Okay, shit. This again is. Ah, shit. I think this again is a closure problem. There are a lot of closure problems. Should not be a closure problem because we are redefining the function every. Okay. Okay. I think I have a better solution than this. Board ref. What is the state which is being used by these things? Board ref. Shit. Board ref is being used here inside this function. Shit. Board ref is being used by this function. Which is okay. Okay. We can put board ref in use effect. I'm thinking of putting these handler functions inside a use effect and then getting these states inside those functions individually, because we are getting these states anyway every time that this component re-renders. So why not like this? Declared but not used, that is fine. Handle mouse up. This in piece mode is no, this thing is not subscribing. Piece mode, okay, cool. Handle mouse down. Move this thing also here. Board is not defined. That is fine. We will fix that. Get square being clicked. Piece mode set. Piece mode. And okay, this thing takes board ref. Board. Did you mean board or no, this is fine. We do not have to do this. Cool. Okay, board is not known here, so we also have to get a board here. Shit, const board equals use game dot get state. Start. Cool. I like how exactly. Okay. Okay, shit. Shit. Mouse up, handle mouse up. Putting piece back, console.log. What is the piece that we are putting back? Piece that we are putting back in this case was white king, and in this case again is white king. Okay. Shit. That was very stupid. Cool. Okay. Even if I let go of the piece outside the board, they are at their right place. Cool. Okay. Now we have to fix the problem of move not being made. Move not being made. Shit, and I did all of that. I guess, shit. I think I should put all of this. All of this should not be here. None of this should be here. This should be globally available, like everything else. Piece moved. Okay. Cool. And now, oh, white bishop was the piece which was moved. None was the piece which was moved. Board side. Board shade, yes, board ref also. Cool. Now it is okay. Now this is okay. The handler was not updating accordingly. Now it is. Cool. Now we have to fix the thing that, yes, cool. We are able to move these pieces. Pretty cool. This, if I click right here, bishop is getting moved, and if I click right here, the knight is getting moved. That is very cool. Okay, cool. Now the fact that this is like invalid move somehow, how do you explain that? That the move is invalid. Yes, the move should not be invalid. Is valid move? Yes, the move should not be invalid. Okay, instead of the board, give here the new board, and we are okay. And we can set the board later on. Yep, because the board value only updates after this whole thing has run. Not new board is not like good name for this. Instead of substitute new board with original board. That sounds much better. Okay, let's play. Cool, we are able to play our move. We can like legit play a whole game now. Okay, we can legit play a whole game. Let's move this to screen number 5. Remove this. Okay, we can play a whole game. Cool. Wait, whose move is it? Is it black person's move? Mhm. Okay, then white. Let's restart the game. Let's restart. Okay, this person is white, and we will do some kind of checkmate. This key, I will like wait. Cool. I'll pick up later. Okay. This, and then this person. What do they have to move? They have to move, I think, this or this. It does not matter what white does. And then I can move this white queen here. And wait, I guess I will be right back in like 1 minute. I have to pick this up. Wait, where is OBS? Okay. 1 minute, and I will be right back. And I'm back. Cool. Okay. We can give a scholar's mate. Okay, here, and then black plays some random move. White does this, then black plays some random move. White does this. Black win one. Okay, we do not see the same thing here. Cool. By the way, black did not win. Black lost the game like horribly. Black lost the game horribly. Okay, black lost the game. Black lost the game, but we are not seeing the right message. Custom hooks. Okay. In case handle move made by a player, game ending console.log. Wait. Shit. C color is equal to color. Is equal to color, which is okay. Set the game state to ended, and data dot winner. Set winner. Winner is a variable. Okay, and in both the cases, C color is the winner. Okay, that is messed up. Okay, if this thing is, yep, if this thing equals white, then black, otherwise white. Cool. And why do we not see this on the board where Yeah, where which did the checkmate. Game over. Okay. Aerospace is not working. Shit. Shit. Okay, aerospace is not working somehow. Okay, now it is working. Cool. Okay, on to the next problem. But before moving on, let's fix. Let's make a commit git. Git status git. Wait, we have a random file here. Where was the file? Inside frontend. Inside frontend, we have this random file. Git add everything. Git commit, and we did fix in this. And the thing is, yes, when validating move, original board is sent. Yes, that is the main crux of what we did in this part. Now we have to fix this thing, that cool. Start game. Okay, and white person does this, black person does some like random stuff, white person does this, black person some random stuff, white person does this, black person does not even know like what is coming from for him. And then checkmate. What do we see on the back end? Okay, back end is not registering this as a checkmate. Okay, so there is a problem with the back end. In this specific move, there is a problem with the back end. Okay, shit. In this specific move order, or maybe there is a possible shit. Yes, this is not checkmate. Back end is right because we have this move. This is not a checkmate. Shit, shit. And now this is a checkmate. Here it says white 1, but here we do not see anything. And on the back end, we do see game over. Reason was checkmate, and the game has been stored on the database. Cool, but why did we not see any message here? Ah, shit. Log. Can check the log. Game over. Cool. There is some error. We will look at it later. Here we do not see anything. We do not see game over. Are we getting the final request? Console.log data. Let's say on every request we will print the data. Console.log 1. If we go inside this condition, and if we go inside this condition, wait, instead of 1 we could give it more information. Game starting. and here uh, move, wait, move being played by the current player, yes, move confirmed, and then here move made by other player, and then else console.log move made by other player, game ended. Okay, okay, start, start. Who is going to be white? This person is going to be white. This is like too small, but fine, okay. Shit, that is the wrong move, but okay. Shit, that actually is the wrong move. Then black does something random. Then white does this. Black does this. White is now preparing for a checkmate. Black has no idea. Checkmate. Okay, cool. Here we do see white and move. Okay, that is right. Shit. Okay, that is very much right. The last move is confirmed. That is cool. But here, okay, if no error, yep, then make the move. And after making the move, maybe the move was confirmed and the game also ended. Set game state, game ended if the game was ended, for which we have to check if data dot over. If game was over, then do this. If game ended, set the game state to ended and put the color of the person who won or lost, like whatever happened. Cool. Now we can like just move this. Start. Start. Okay. Cool. Play the game. Start the game. Cool. This is the move. Cool. Both know who the winner is. Winner is the white player. Cool. Let's do something fun now. Let's. Okay. Before doing something fun, what were the things? Fixing bugs. Cool. Yes. Finally, the bugs have been fixed. Yes. No. Nah. No. 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 There is one bug which remains, which is if I refresh, if the page refreshes, the connection gets lost, which is not right, which is wrong. It should not happen. Like if we are playing a game, okay, playing game is going on. If I refresh, then socket closes. Yep, then the socket closes, which should not happen. It should not happen. Socket closes. Git commit fix game could end at the last and move confirm also. Okay, this was just 16 lines of insertion. This thing makes the socket connection. Start game and res is a socket. I think we could have a better name for res instead of res. Change this from res, which should be case sensitive, from res to socket. Cool. And refresh. Why does the socket closes on refresh? Why does the socket closes on refresh? Which requires us to read some theory. Okay. If I have a front end socket, then how, if I have a socket on a page in front end and then I refresh that page, the socket closes. How do I make it persistent? Can we not make it persistent? Oh, sorry, trying to. When you refresh the page, the browser does something brutal but simple. Destroys the entire JavaScript runtime. Destroys all memory. Destroys the normal solution. Reconnect automatically. Most real applications simply reconnect the socket after reload. The trick is the server remembers the session. Shit. Shit. The client reconnects with a token. Server authenticates the user. Shit, we have to make things. Okay. We have to change the backend. We have to change the backend to solve this refresh problem. Right now, what is happening? If the socket closes, the backend just closes the connection. Okay. Shit, 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 shit. So in the backend, we will have to change a few things. Shit. Okay. Let's go to log file. Log.md. Today is 12. We have done quite a lot of stuff today. Is it possible to store it in local storage? Okay, what are you going to store? You can store the like object which is your socket, but there has to be a connection. The backend and the front end have to know, they have to have a TCP connection, and even if the like literal data that you are using for your socket connection, like this address for the backend and other things, they can persist, the data can persist after refresh. The socket connection, the TCP connection itself closes, so the backend will register it as a socket closing. So yep, there has to be logic in the backend to remember sessions. Shit. Okay, okay. What have we done today? Fix the bugs. Not in start page. Fix the bugs. Yeah, quite a lot of bugs. Okay. And then the thing that we want to talk about is persistent session after reload of page, or reload of page, or Yeah, close off tab for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. 20 seconds is cool. Yes, 20 seconds is cool. Cool. Okay. For this, the back end must change. It must keep a track of all the ongoing sockets, and when a socket closes inside a game, in a game, or while in a game, a timer uh, set timeout will be set. While in a game, two things happen. Those two things would be set timeout is set for 20 seconds, set for 20 seconds if the socket is still open and the game is still going. Is set for shit 20 seconds, which, and yes, set timeout is set for 20 seconds, and reference to it is stored in in variable memory something in something. And yes, where the key would be a token given to the player at start of the game. And if a socket request comes with that token from the same from the same user, then the set timeout is called off. Otherwise, it deletes itself and sends the other user message. Otherwise, it cleans up game state and tells the other user that they won. And yes, that is about the set timeout. And also we tell the other user that this user is gone and they will see a 20-second timer. And if the gone user comes back, then another request socket message is sent to this user and another socket, and yes, and they continue the game and remove the timer. They continue the game and remove the timer. Otherwise, they get a victory message. Cool. That sounds cool. That like just sounds cool. Okay. Add sounds, yes. Now let's add some sounds. Sounds, okay. Yes, we sounds picks away. Please picked up sound. Shit, chess.com, this piece move sound effects, soundboard files. Right, that's cool. Shit, okay. White gaming. Okay, we do not need notify. We can find better sounds than chess.com, possibly. We would have to do some kind of editing on the sound. Nope, these are not clean. These sounds are not clean. Okay, this is good. I think this is the only thing that we need. And this and this. Okay, cool. Let's use these. We will use chess.com sounds. Source and public. No shit. Assets. Curl. Okay, let's and move. Okay, shit. The name is like already pretty cool. This is one, and the other is this. Okay, we have the sounds. How do we show a sound in JavaScript? How to play sound in JS? Audio for web games. New audio. We use new audio. Or we could use the audio tag. Shit, we could use the audio tag. There is a legit audio tag for simple playback or more advanced. Well, shit, we just need the audio tag. We do not need anything expensive or heavy. Audio tag. You can define audio element directly in HTML and control it with JavaScript. This approach allows you to specify multiple file formats for better browser compatibility. Have audio source type. The browser does not support audio element. Okay, this text will be shown if the audio does not play. And from JavaScript, we get the element, we get the ID of the button, and add event listener audio element dot play. We just call dot play and it works. Okay, shit. This was not too complicated. Looks simple enough. Okay, adding sounds. Get a status. Okay, shit. Log.md. Wait, what did we change in custom hooks? How to see difference of a specific file in Git? That is a nice question. How to see Git diff for a file? Git diff and just file name, I guess. Git diff library interface custom hooks and socket. Yes, shade. We changed the name from socket. Yes, cool. Sound. We need sound when we put the piece down. Okay, which happens in board. Move mouse up. Yes, mouse up. If valid, move is after this. But you also need to specify two audio tags here. Audio, audio, audio ref. Uh, move audio ref and capture audio ref assets move.mp3 and win.mp3 is not a sound that we have. You have capture.mp3. Source slash assets. We have capture.mp3 and move self mp3. Move self dot mp3 and capture dot mp3. Okay, we need to define two ref variables for these. Const move audio ref equals use ref html audio element and initially is null. Then const capture. Cool. And then when we make this move, we would like to know, we would like this function, make move function, game make move is defined here. Yep. Socket set in move true. Yep. And the move is only made by this. Yep, at this point. This is the only point that when the move is made. No, here move is made here. Target is not equal to this, then shade move is not made here. Shade move is not made here. This has nothing to do, legit, nothing to do with the move. Move is made by the stand on message variable. Yes, in library interfaces custom hooks. Move is made by on message handler here. Move made by current player confirmed. Yep, and move made by other player making a move. In both the cases, we have to play that sound. Therefore, we should export those variables. Nope. Or either we could expose those variables, or we can have a variable here, sound. whether we expose those two variables or we are putting an element. Maybe we do this without that audio tag and do use an audio library, which is easiest apparently. Okay, new sound, my sound is this, and sound dot play. Okay, shit, just that. We can have them here. What is the name of this library? It's called audio. Okay, one and audio. I okay, then can we just import audio, just audio. This method is ideal. Shit, audio is an inbuilt method, it seems like. Okay, shit, we don't have to import anything. Audio seems to be an inbuilt method. So what we do is we can just define sounds. Okay, const move made is new audio at the rate, can this take at the rate source assets move made. Okay, shit, this is not how we define stuff. Capture audio and move made. Capture move audio normal audio. Capture move audio and normal move audio handle start of game. We can put as audio at the start of the game also in move. Okay. If game ended, then another thing we could do there. Okay, target square, target column. If board dot t row p column equals pieces dot in. Play sound. If board, yes, if the place that we moved to is this, then this play, else it must have been a capture. This is done. Yep, here, and do the same thing when the other player makes a move. F move index 6. And also we can remove the audio tags. Yep, these audio tags. Cool. And also the references to these audio tags. Okay, and now I guess we are pretty good. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, nothing. There is no sound. There is no sound. There is no sound. There is no sound. There should be a sound. Shit. This thing. Okay, so there could be a problem with this. Maybe this is not how we give paths. Assets. Shit, there is nothing as sounds. Yeah, cool. Shit, I guess that might have been it. And this should be like capture.mp3 and this is the other is source assets ls move self. Okay, that might be it. Start. Okay, and nothing, no sound. Shit, might be the path. This might be because of the path. The path is not right. Flash assets. Inside assets, this should be move self dot mp3 and dot slash assets capture dot mp3 start. Go to this. Shit, go to this. Okay, start. Okay, nothing. Shit. Okay, still nothing. Okay, no sound. Log. No. Capture. And this is made. Yeah, move confirmed. In promise, the element has no supported sources. Not supported error. Custom hook line 92. This thing. Okay. My sound dot play. My sound dot play. Stop playback. Make the sound loop. Volume. Maybe volume. Let's also put non audio dot volume 0.5 and volume of the other one also 0.5. And now the error that we are seeing. The error is this. What is this error? Caught in promise. then using audio to make a sound. Getting this error. This error comes from HTML audio engine, not from React Existing or your hook. The message, this thing means the browser tried to load the audio but could not decode the file you gave it, which might mean that we have to restart the server. Shit, might actually be it. Start game. Okay, nope, nothing. Okay, shit. The file cannot be finished. The audio element ends up being no usable source. The path actually lives at this y like a slash. Shit. Okay, so this is looking inside public, I guess, which means we should move the audio inside public. Move from dot source assets everything that ends in mp3 to public. It is public, and we do have capture and move self dot mp3 here, and here we just have to change the path. Cool. That might be it. Start a game. Okay, and we are hearing the sound twice because like both of them are making sound. Let's also check capture. Okay, this thing. Cool. Cool. When the black player is making a move, we are not hearing the sound from both the boots. No, we are hearing the sound from both the boots. Cool. Cool. There are sounds now. There's some cleanup is needed. Feature sounds on moves. Now I would like to make this publicly accessible, which means not only I but anyone who clones this repo should be able to like run this. It should be cool. So let me update the readme.md to install dependencies. Run this. Okay, this is just project I am building. To run this, just follow the following commands, right? Install dependencies. open install. Okay, how do we give a list in Markdown? Numbered list in Markdown. Okay, shit, just like this. Okay, this was not too difficult. So instead of this, like this, cool. First of all, we have to install the dependencies. If the dependencies are installed, so then to start the backend. Okay, no shit. Second is put your custom PSQL connection string in something. Let me see, where is mine? Mine is in this. Do I want to open this to just like look at the format? I would. So for that, I would just hide my screen for a minute. Wait. These are the variables which must be set there. Wait. readme.md. something.com, port 1 2 3 4 5, database name chess, username, password, Postgres, okay, cool. I can show my screen back again. Cool. Default PSQL URL format, this thing. Shit. Sh sh I did mess up a little bit. So for this, move this to, yes, it is really me. Okay, shit, what do you want to verify? It is me. Huh? Cool. Move this to workspace number 3 and hello, cracked OSDiv. Shit, I moved the wrong thing. Wait, shit, no. Shit, yes. Mm, mm. Cool, yes, okay. Workspace. This is cool. And move this on the left using. Okay, I'm just like learning how to use this thing called aerospace. Cool, okay. Cool. Okay. Yep. Woke up late today. Shit, you woke up late? Now you woke up now? Shit, that is pretty late. Okay, this is path. host, then comes username, then db name. Parameters we do not need. We do need parameters. But this is put database and details in, not .env but inside .env, inside this file. Okay, put details in this example below. Yep. Okay, then what do we have to do? Yep, then we can just start backend. For backend, the command is one run back. This is in bash. Cool. Then start frontend cd to source slash frontend, right, and then start the backend. One run white. Cool. I guess readme is okay now. I wouldn't change anything here. Seems okay. Commit m feature other scan updated docs. Let's see how it looks. In the game working now. Yo, hello. Yes, the game is working. Let me also show you some other thing other than the game. Like in the game, something that how can I play? You can play like this. Go here to this URL, do bun install, and then make a file called .env.development.local and add something like this: your database, host name, port, password, this, all of this in this file, and then start the backend by bun run back and start the front end with this bun run white. That sounds cool. And let me show you shit. Move this to 4. Go to 4. Okay. Yeah. Localhost start. We do have to log in from this. Yep. Login. The name here is or Fin00. Password was password. Closed. Start. Okay. Start a game. Start a game. Cool. We do see the game, which is pretty cool. And let's say white player makes a move. You do hear the sound, right? You do hear the sound. Yes. Okay. You should hear the sound. Right. You do hear the sound, right? This is very cool. Now, whose chance is this? Black person's chance. You are hearing them twice because the same sound is coming from both the sides, like from both the windows. So, yep. Okay. Let's go till checkmate, like full checkmate. Yes. What do we do now? Yeah. Nice move. Black person does this, let's say, and then it is white person's chance, and they can play it like flip the board and play however they want here. And after this, let's say white person does this due to some reason. Yeah, I'm just like playing a random game right now. No idea what is happening. Yep, this is very cool, I think, at least. Okay, okay, let's suppose that white is retarded and black person is like very intelligent. So white will get checkmated. Now it is white's chance. Random knight move. Black person can give a check here. He just needs a helper. Cool. Check. King moves. And shit, this is not checkmate because the knight can take. So let's say black person does something else and the white person removes their knight, and then the black person, shit, is still this is not checkmate because this knight can come in the middle. Shit, that is very cool. Okay, so we need a helper. Black person needs a helper. Okay, white person now just like moves the king. Checkmate. Who won? Black won. Black won. Cool. Queen check. Oh, shit, I messed up. I messed up. Okay, what do we do now? Now we have to make, okay, the minimal viable product is ready. I think we can say this. There are bugs. There are bugs that is, if a person is not logged in, there's the refresh screen bug. If we refresh a game, then the socket closes and yeah, the other player just wins the game. So we have to fix that. And there is also no check. Yeah, there is no check if the user is logged in or not. Even if the user is not logged in, the front end allows the user to go to the start page or play a game page, stuff like that. Right, yep. So that also must be fixed, but not right now. I will like right now. You can have a domain, right? Yes, domain. Then it will be easy to play. Yep, then it will be easy to play. The front end is like free to deploy, but the back end takes money. And I do have GitHub student developer pack. When the whole workflow is okay, then I will deploy this. There are free DigitalOcean $200 credits, so that is pretty cool. That would be cool. I'll use them. It will be easy to play then. I will deploy this when I'm like satisfied with this. Okay. Shit. Let's make the end screen a little better. This looks very bad. Or before the end screen, let's make it so that if the player is not logged in, they should be redirected to the login screen or the sign up page if they want to go there, if that is the sort of thing that they are into. Should I took a screenshot? Nothing is changed. Okay, cool. Log.md here. We added sounds to moves, and we also have to see if user not logged in, then would be redirected to login page. Okay, how do we do that? In all of these pages, login, we don't have to do anything on login page. We have to do theme empty. Yes. We have to do something on this page, something on this page, and the home page does not even make sense. Home page is also empty, which is messed up. Why is the home page empty? Thing is, I guess all of this, none of this should be here. All of this, these routing and stuff, this should be inside. Yep, the router should not be here. Router should be in this app. Browser, router, cool. Routes, cool. Route, cool. Login page, import all of these. Login page, sign up. Not form, but sign up. Sign up page. Game page. Play page. Okay, all of this is here now. And theme button should be there. And in this case here we should be doing home, and for home let's make a home page, home.tsx const home equals, doesn't take in anything, return globe, export default home. Okay, and what we see if we go to home, emptiness. Home is empty. Wait, shit. Okay, we are importing home from the wrong place. It's not the home that we want. Oh, shit. And play is also, we are also importing play from the wrong place. Okay, and there is nothing again on home. Why is there nothing on home now? Shit, of course, there is nothing on home because inside main uh, we have error, a lot of errors. Cool. We have our globe. Cool. This is our home page. And cool. Let's make the home page a little more beautiful. We can add a div here that says play, a single play button, class, or do we say these two inside another div? I would like to have these two on top of each other. So this div should have a relative, and this one, I think absolute position, and top 0, left 0, with full height, full, and internally this div would have a button. Which is play. It is at the wrong place right now. Flex, item center, justify center. Okay. This is not taking the complete height. We have this div. Okay, whose width is not big enough. Okay. Height would be height of the content inside this. How do we say that? Make height of div equal to content height. Height of div equal to the height of the content. It should be auto. Okay, height auto. A button is still there somehow, and the height of this thing is not as big as it should be. Yep, height of this thing is 0, which is messed up. ABBR tag. Okay, you might be able to hear this music. Yes, I guess you are able to hear this, and that is fine. Mm, wait, height should also be like full. Height should be equal to not full, but height of the whole like window which is visible. Viewport, height of the viewport. Device view height. Let's use this. And how do we do now? Now we do this. Cool. Okay. Flex and items center. And justify items. Globe should be in the middle. It is not in the middle. Globe should be in the middle. Items center, align middle. Okay, this thing is not in the middle. 90% of the GPU is going on. Where is the GPU going on? I guess because the server is running. Yep. Though I can stop the back end. But the backend does not run on GPU. Globe is not coming on the middle. Globe is not coming on the middle. Relative height, full window height, X item center, just device item, align middle. And globe, okay, yes, globe is not in the middle somehow, even though it should be. How about now? Shit, still. I think this relative might be messing up the flex properties. No, it is not messing up the flex properties. Flex item center, shit. Fixed. Just the button is fixed. Class name fixed. Put this in the middle of the screen. How to put a fixed element on the in the middle of the screen? I do not know the height and width, so top would be device v, not an absolute number but a relative number. Full auto. I think this is cool. Top and left. And then translate. And yeah, that might. It is not good. Okay, shit. Hello, Orphan. How is it? Wait, shit. Where are the time marks? Timestamps. Timestamps are necessary. Right now, I am working on these other pages because the game page is working and it is cool. Okay, play button is in the middle, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. We have to do the same with div, with this globe thing. Copy. That is not in the middle. Inside globe, we want to be return. We are returning this. And this whole thing is inside an abbreviation, which is messed up. Kind of crazy. How, what was the issue? Issue, wait, for what? For this, for the, and by the way, look at this. Look at this. This is called aerospace. Aerospace. We can use this for like quickly switching between stuff, between like workspaces. And let me show you. Button back. Localhost. Login. Orphan 00. Password at the rate. Should I messed up the password? Yeah. Password at the rate 123. Cool. And we go to start from here also, and this game starts. There are sounds there, which is cool. Now it is black person's turn and they can flip the boards and play the move in whatever way they like. White person can also flip the board and do whatever they want. Say capture, there is capture sound also, which looks good. This is like coming together. This looks good. And if this is the white person, and let's say if the white person closes the tab, or let's give a checkmate. Okay, let's give them a checkmate. This is the black person, this is the white person. Let's give the let's give a checkmate. It is black's choice, black's turn. Shit, it is not checkmate because the king can go here. Shit, the white king can go there. Shit. uh, but but shit. I'm trying to give a checkmate. I guess that might be close enough. We have to do something here. A white person just makes like random checkmate. Black gave the checkmate, so black one. Yes, that was what I was trying to show. Game works. Yep. We were not able to play as white earlier, right? Yes. What was the issue? The issue, there were multiple issues. There was a state issue, the handler functions which we were defining and add event listeners to those handler functions. Those functions were not updating. They were not getting the latest state values, because when they were defined, whatever the state value was, that was the state value that they were getting. And okay, let me show you in code. In pages, play here in board. All of this is state. Yeah, even though these state variables were updating, and since we have defined these handler functions, they were getting the latest value. These handler functions are defined inside the component scope, and whenever the component re-renders, they get redefined, and whenever they get redefined, they get the latest value. So that was not the problem, but the problem was this use effect. This use effect was only running when we were doing this. This only had this in the dependency board side, which means when the component was re-rendering, because a move was made, let's say when the component renders mounts on for the first time, this use effect runs, and the definition of this handle mouse function which use effect got does not change. It is the same definition of handle mouse that it gets at the time of mounting on, but then on later re-renders the definition changes, because there are some like state variables like this one, or other state variables which we have to get, like, so therefore on every re-render when we were making moves, the definition of these handler functions was changing, because where is board? Yeah, like this board was also updating after every move. Like, shit, I'm not explaining this correctly. Simply speaking, the definition of these handler functions was changing, but the event listener was using the older definition, and therefore we were not getting the latest board, and therefore, yeah, moves were not registering, if that makes sense. And shit, I lost this message, but it was fixed by adding these things, handler functions in here as a dependency, so that whenever these handler functions change, this use effect should run and demount the old handler functions and remount the new ones. This is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We did that, and apart from that, like, yep, we did fix bugs. Persistent session. For persistent session, we have to do like crazy things. We have to make changes on the backend, because the backend has to remember a session. Yeah, backend has to remember a session if you want the user to, if the user refreshes their page, their WebSocket connection gets closed. That is how browsers work. But to fix this, we can on the backend keep a session, and whenever a new WebSocket connects, we can check if this is a user who is inside a game right now and like adjust stuff. And then we added sounds, and yep, right now this is what I'm trying to fix, or like adding, if the user is not logged in, they should be directed to the login page. It makes sense. Okay, sweet. That is cool. So now only a little bit of UI is remaining. Yep. There are, yes. If we are only looking at the minimal viable product, then yep, only a little bit of the UI is remaining. Shit, actually. This end game page is remaining. Sounds are there. Sounds are making it like way cooler. Sounds are cool. Yep, a little bit of the UI is remaining. And then after that, it is just adding more features. Shit. I guess this is stream number 29. Crazy. I do not want to like do any coding right now, so I would. But there is one more thing. I have to stream for at least 3 hours, and it is like 7 minutes. So do word for today. It will like it will be finished in less than 7 minutes. But let's see. If that is Bangladesh. Okay, pretty easy. India, Myanmar. Capital Dhaka. Okay, where is the capital? I guess here. Cool. Okay, this is Myanmar, India, Bhutan, Thailand, Laos, Bangladesh, Nepal, China, and Laos. Cool. And which one of these facts is true? Top 20 annual tourist? Maybe not. Population density could be. Bottom 20 in population density? I guess not. Top 20 in chocolate consumption per capita? I think not. Okay, yes. Top 20 in population density. The Sundarbans in Bangladesh found the world's largest dash tropical mangrove mangrove forest. Yes, cool. And then before gaining independence in 1971, the territory of present-day Bangladesh was officially known as East Pakistan. Cool. And then can you guess which one the landmark is in Bangladesh? Shit. This one is like Jesus Christ is there, so probably this is not right. This might be it. Shit, this is not it. I don't know. Okay, this place is in Bangladesh. I don't know what this is. Diego Garcia? Nope, that is an island. Little Chapel? No idea. Ah, okay. Lal Bagh. Oh. And then that is Croatia. This is Switzerland. This is Greece. Greece, yes, Greece. Shit. Shit. Okay. This is Bangladesh. Okay. What do they speak in Bangladesh? Bengali. And second language, Kashmiri. Shit. Hindi. There is no Hindi here. Chakma. Shit. Chakma. This is Bengali and Chakma. No idea. Amar Naam Holo. Okay. Amar Naam Holo. That is Chakma. GDP, I guess their GDP is higher than India's. Next, what is the estimated population of Bangladesh? No idea. Key 170 million. Cool. Currency shared. No idea. Taka. Okay. And then most populous cities. Dhaka, Rangpur, Chittagong, Kulna. Only Dhaka was correct. Bangladesh has more area. Shit, Nepal is bigger than Bangladesh. That is crazy. Nepal is bigger than Bangladesh. That is actually crazy. Okay, and how long has it been? 3 more minutes. Okay, let's play. Okay, let's play. We can play a game. Let's play a game now. Build a game analysis. Maybe later on. Chess engine. For chess engine, I would like to add a chess engine when I know a little bit about machine learning. I would like do machine learning and build a basic stupid bot. You need to stockfish if you don't want to make an engine. I would make a engine when I will be learning like machine learning. That would be cool. And Kakashi, let's play a game. Chess.com. Right now we like unfortunately have to use chess.com. But at some point we will use our custom made app like Linux people. Right. Let's go. Um 5 minutes. How about 5 minutes? Cool. Shit, I think I made this thing rated. Wait. Let me cancel. Play a friend. Nope. This should not be rated because you are higher rated than me. And if maybe by chance I win, then you will lose a lot of your ratings. And shit, yeah, you might be gone. I don't know. Stockfish. Okay. Mhm. Shit, yes, these arrow feature also. I will add this arrow feature and this thing also. This. And also this last move. This yellow. This thing gets yellow after the last move. Hmm. Shit. Yes, of course. Yes. I forgot. I'm thinking. 5 minutes is not a lot of time to think. Shit. Shit. Okay. Shit. Oh, shit. Okay. Shit. I messed up big time. Mm, just one more square and would have been very cool. Shit. Ah, okay. GG. That was a good game. Like, actually good game. It was good. It was pretty cool. This game was so cool. Is it London? I don't know. This was pretty cool. this is I missed a move. I missed a very bad move. Very good move. Okay, this was apparently very bad. This was apparently a blunder, and I was totally winning. This, yes, I missed like this move. I could have gone from here to here, in which case I would have gotten the queen. But I messed up. Totally messed up. You would have won. Yes, you would have won. GG. Yep, this was pretty good. Wait, even in this case, I guess in this case, I might actually have won. But shit, I messed up. I messed up. And also, uh, great. In this, I didn't see this, that my queen was being protected. Okay. This was cool. This was a pretty cool game. And for today, that would be it for the stream. Right. Oh, yes, yes. For today, that would be it for the stream. And thank you for being here.